Let us finish this. Our final task.
What is it now? I've told you before, and I'll tell you again. We will leave when there is someplace else for us to go. Tell your friends in Emer that as long as the Tuatha burn our homes, we'll keep searching for a place to settle. I was raised in Kong and spent my summers fishing the Tawili coast. And when the war came, I threw my lot in with General Tolera. May she forgive herself. They claimed to be low on supplies, to be unable to spare even the smallest charity. But I know better. I have seen. Unlike us, they have everything they need, and more. Here we are safe from the Fae, all of them. We are simple people. We don't wish to be pawns in the games of immortals, summer or winter. As for Emer, the villagers have made it very clear that we're not welcome. There would be more understanding if they had endured our hardships. I saw them with my own eyes, and I know Tuatha killed my fair share in the war. I am Elrod Edmund, leader of this pathetic band of ragmen. We come from the farms of the Tawili coast. Go there now, and you will find only ruin. The Tuatha raiding parties terrorized us where we were safest. At home. There are spies among us, my friend, and they must be rooted out. Will you help me? Kill them. What else? I would do it myself, but I must lead my people. They have no hope left to speak of. My strength is all they have. Fine. Then we shall be discreet. There are 3 whom I suspect of scouting for the Tuatha. They are paid in gold. There is no record of their actions. Onred Amphast is posing as a military recruiter, while Froma and Nag are both residents of our camps in the plain. Be careful. Consider all of them well connected. Be swift. Be merciless. Onred lurks in the shade of the Forsaken Plain mostly. Try Emer, or the West Phalanx. Froma and Nag are likely in one of the refugee camps to the east. Good luck.
Don't look at me. Hello there.
Just give me a straight answer. Is the General still in the cradle of summer?
She is for... You with that Docklefar woman? Well, between you and me, I think she might be a bit off her head. That's what the cards say, at any rate. Don't know much about it, really. I'm not from here, I'm just passing through. If you've got a knack for it, there's a living to be scratched out of fate weaving. Farmers like to know their yields in advance, at least. Nasty out there. But with Freeman plaguing the roads south, there's not much safer travel to be had. Cold comfort. Pleasant travels.
Someone, please! I've been burglarized!
Please, relax and partake of what our small... Hamlet has to offer. We'll be here if you... Need us.
Welcome.
Hello again. How are you enjoying your Come again. Hello again. How are you? This is the birthplace of alchemy in the Feylands. These plains have been soaked in the deepest magic. Every leaf. If you want to know more about our history, and about the fascinating flora and fauna of the Forsaken Plain, speak to Molly upstairs. She's a sweetie. Refugees from the coast of Twili. They claim their village was burned by Tuatha, but I know better. The Tuatha here in the realm of the Summer Court? I think not. They began arriving several weeks ago, marching from Gallifore with their belongings dragged behind them. We've given them all we can, but we only have so much. No problem. We just fixed one up all nice and tidy. You're welcome to it. Well, you know where to go if you need a place to rest. Be well.
You resemble someone of authority. Two rogues, likely freemen, have stolen a precious item from me. Pay attention! And to think my taxes pay your salary. This village was once a bustling crossroads for traders and dealers in the arcane. However, in recent years, it has become a barren outpost for the ignorant. Disgusting, sweaty, pathetic things. Do not misunderstand me. I have sympathy for the wretched, but only if they're far from my doorstep. It was an impressive gem sold to me on the road to Haxi. Quite the curio. It is called the Eye of Amun, a magical token shaped by the Fae Amun the Clever. I've yet to research it thoroughly, but it is certainly valuable. One must keep an eye on every possession since the freemen began to terrorize the plain. Some dare to enter the village even with the militia outside. I am W. Mundus, owner of Oddities and Curios by W. Mundus. I have lived in the Mare village for nearly 1 year. I detest it, and don't get me started on the Alpha. There were 2 of them, swarthy brutes, hairy, filthy. I shudder at the thought. The beasts ransacked my antiquities collection and stole several notable items. I am a gentleman, and if you can recover my amulet, I will make it worth your time and effort. I glimpsed them leaving through the back window as they made for the woods. Name your price. Well, perhaps that's not accurate, but you will win my favor. And they don't call me the richest man in Gorehot for my charming personality. Excellent. I will stay here, secure, and wait for your return. I've told you everything, fool. Farewell, stranger.
Isn't it a glorious day, as if Helios himself warms us with a smile? To what do I owe this courtesy? I only have a few moments to spare. The godstorm awaits my return, and it doesn't like to wait. It is a good place to find the peace I need to complete my work, although the refugees have certainly slowed progress. I am not one for the cacophony of any kind. I don't know how the Fae in the Cradle of Summer can stand having us so near. Our mortal din is far too distracting, even for me. I have never laid my gaze upon it. Such a thing would not be proper. I am a dustling, a child of death. The Cradle of Summer must not be sullied by my taint. I was born in the city of Rathir, an orphan of the Wending. One day I stumbled upon the Scholia Arcana library, and I found new life in the ancient books. My advice to them would be to gain some perspective. Villages grow and burn. There is only one event that is worth our attention, and that is the Godstorm. Of course, I don't typically prefer the company of others. Take the leader of these refugees, for example. Master Elrod Edmund. Gruff, coarse, not a pleasantry in sight. Why, the Godstorm is the greatest event that our fragile world has ever witnessed. It was a battle, a conflict between Fae. They call it the Withering War. That's why I relocated to Emer to complete my book, the definitive work on the subject. The village is nice enough, quiet, although the new arrivals give me no peace. Sadly, I lack the last few resources needed to tell the full story. The works of the famous scribes Ewald, Dalston, Callas, and Wildfrold. Gone. I was so close. It is not in the Fae's nature to fight. The summer and winter courts have existed in harmony since the beginning of time. Leave it to us mortals to ruin a good thing. 500 years ago, the Summer King Issa and the Winter Lord On broke from that pattern and fought a battle here, on this very plain. The land carries the scars. They are lost to the ages, I'm afraid. Mines such as Ewald and Callas are rare. I suspect that their works have been spread across the plains. Keep your eyes open.
Hi.
Thank you for coming all this way. I don't know if you heard that, but it sounds as if General Talera is still here, in exile. for all but losing the fortress of Melsenshire? Long ago, Talera led our forces, but then the Tuatha produced a foe she could not best. Her forces barely survived the retreat out of Cluracan. Many blamed her for the loss, to have built up hopes so high, only to have them topple. That was Talera's crime, and she has paid for it, day after day. You're as quick as ever. Talera is in the cradle of summer, banished from the battlefields of Melsenshire until she can atone for her past. According to the Fate Weaver here, she seeks an artifact from Ural Tusk that might break the siege and aid our forces. But she cannot do so alone, for poor Talera is fated never to succeed. That is where you can help. Last I heard, General Talera was somewhere in northern Arethel, searching for a way to turn the tide of the war. I think she took a squad to Ural Tusk. In a hidden valley, northwest of the plains of Arethel, the ruins of Ural Tusk lie undisturbed, as they have for many centuries. What Talera wants there is beyond me, but I trust her, even if it goes against my better judgment. You should be just what the general's looking for.
Hello there. It's about time. Han likes to keep Molly Janik at your service. I teach alchemy. What can be taught, that is. It's big business around here. My father was an alchemist. He trained me and my sister Lila. Don't be a stranger.
I am on official business. Unless you've been sent by the Alfar army, we have no reason to speak. I was a soldier once, in the years before the Crystal War. I saw many die at Galafor Fields. You could say I learned my lesson. I'm here as a recruiter for the Alfar army. My superiors believe there's still fresh blood to be wrung from the Forsaken Plain. They're wrong, of course. Let's just say I'm glad I'm not one of them. War is harsh on many people in many ways. Those of us who can avoid the suffering should. Ask anyone and you'll get the same answer. They're animals. They care nothing for the mortal races. We're just dust to them. A spy? Me? Ridiculous. You might want to stop your drinking while you still have some of your wits left. Or perhaps I better stop you myself.
From the naked dirt sprang the Majestics, the firstborn of the wilds of Ashara. Around them, they heard the song of splendor of a once and future summer. And they responded. And the earth moved. The carver shaped, the architect built, and the shaper composed.
Departing their home beyond the veil, the firstborn were torn asunder, with a cry that still lingers in the heart of every god tree and mountain. Then, emptiness, followed by a darkening sky, and the frost wept with the first winter.
Hail! I am General Talera ap Gwydion, former commander of the Eastern Alpha forces. Surely you're not the aide Aelin Shear promised. She spoke as if she planned to send a whole squad of soldiers, not one faceless mercenary. You have the bearing of one that's seen combat, but you never fought in the war, or you would know who I am. Once I was the commander of Mel Shear, the Alpha fortress to the east. I held back the Tuatha at every push before the Baelor came. Then everything fell to pieces. So, she is behind this. That woman. One too many times she's meddled in my affairs, making promises she never intends to keep. Well, perhaps it is for the best. The fewer people involved in my affairs, the better. You see, misfortune follows closely at my heels. It is the lot fate has cast for me. The years have been long since I first learned of the means that might deliver Mel Shear from the Tuatha. It lies in Earl Tusk, beyond a gate fated never to be opened, in a hall awash with Niskaru. Any who seek access to the ruin must face them. These ruins are said to be the resting place of the Piercing Light, a spear carved from the tusk of the Niskaru Duke, Gajor. The legends say it destroys any horror, in the mind or on the battlefield. No place is more deserving of such a power as Mel Shear. For all my years of research, I've only ever found one clue to this puzzle: when the great voices rise in song. It may refer to the wind stones scattered across the plains. They bear a striking resemblance to the stones of this ruin. But that's simply me grasping at answers. Take this chime. It is said to have been taken from the ruin during its construction many centuries ago. I've tried using it on the windstones with no luck. The Baelor is a thing of dread, a Niskaru lord that the Tuatha managed to coerce into fighting on their behalf. Against the Tuatha I had some success, but no ordinary weapon can best the Baelor. One must fight darkness with light. We may be lofty, but we are not weak. Our land is cold and harsh, and we have long studied the noble arts of bow and blade. Across 1,000 battlefields, my spear paints a red masterpiece. Mel Shear is the gateway into Cluricon, but it's been under siege ever since my defeat. I failed the city once. I can't fail them again. With Tuatha raiding parties along the shores, Rathia has the only port for safe passage across the strait. But after assisting Mel Shear for so many years, the ruling council of Rathia is loath to offer more aid for what they see as a lost cause. 10 years ago, I served the Alpha armies, defending Cluricon and Mel Shear from the Tuatha armies. Then, Witch Knight Malwyn led his Tuatha summoners against us. The fiends routed my soldiers at every turn. Now they've had Mel Shear under siege for years, while I've been searching for a weapon to turn the tide. Earl Tusk, the tomb of the Divine Fang, the Piercing Light. With a weapon like that, I could rally the troops at Mel Shear and perhaps redeem myself. They say the ruin is guarded by legions of Niskaru, led by a beast known as Azagal. Whether this is true or the stuff of legend, I don't know. Long after the Arathi left our world, the mortals built these windstones to call them back down. I've never seen them work, but, as I said before, I'm not known for my good fortune. The inscription says the gate will open when the great voices rise in song. I think this means the windstones that are spread across Erethel. There's one just a little to the south. Go there and strike this chime near it. I'll stay here to see if it has any effect. The windstones are located all across the plains. I can't believe it. The gate shifted? For all my efforts, you simply appear and make it respond. No, you've opened one part of the gate, but 4 more remain. You must find the windstones scattered throughout the plains and activate them. I will remain here. The Niskara will sense that the seal is weakened. Someone must try to hold them back. Go sound the chime at each windstone in Erethel. That's the only way to open the gates. I'll stay here and fight any Niskara looking to sneak past us.
We're watching you.
Are you one of the intruders? One of the children of the dust? What else can we possibly give you that you haven't already taken? The cradle of summer is not a flower for the plucking. For many seasons, we have protected this sacred space from the darkening influence of the mortal world. For it is here where we Summer Fae first set foot in Amalur. But with the rise of the Tuatha, the magical barriers protecting the cradle of summer have weakened. If this continues, nothing is safe from the blight of winter. I am Kalar, guardian of the cradle. Terenia and I safeguard what has never needed protecting, until now. With our weakening magic, the Fae must tend to our own. Mortals, children of the dust. Those who seek only to steal the treasures of the land from which we sprung, to end the deep slumber. Mortals, like you, who seek to bend nature to their will, to make it bow before them as a servant, not embrace it as a guide and mother. Mortals, thieves, liars, and weaklings. They have stolen items of great power. They have stolen the 3 staffs. They are Rivener Tarsus, Gloamfrost, and Ender's Fire. 3 incredible weapons forged to end a war that was threatening to engulf your mortal world. Such prizes, such items of power and importance cannot be kept in the open, and so they were hidden here. That is, until the intruders took them. A child of the dust wishes to help the cycle? There is no precedent. If you truly wish to assist those of us in the deep slumber, you are welcome to. The 3 staffs were stolen from Sill Hollow and destroyed by the thieves who did not comprehend their power or their value. I heard their dying screams. The pieces must be recovered and the staffs must be reforged. If you can do this, you are more worthy of the cradle than I could imagine, but likely you will not. It is the most powerful form of Fey reverie, a connection between our people and our birthplace of Ashara, the realm from which all magic is born. We in the Cradle of Summer slumber to protect this sacred place. We draw energy from our homeland and use it to maintain the barriers that keep out the beasts and men. They were wielded during the long twilight of the Withering War. Those 3 weapons uprooted mountains and left the lush plain forsaken. They are the lightning, the fire, and the ice. They are precious. And while their magic has weakened in these fell lands, they are still cherished and must be returned. It is for those answers that I seek the wisdom of the slumber. For it is in its reverie where I will learn the whereabouts of these thieves, Raff, Purter, and Hagney. Move swiftly. There was another named Own. This name was to be feared. The name is death, decay, and violence. A cold and fading moment. A mind not of misery in the few leaves of winter. A suit of armor beneath which lay a void. Where Issa's vision was of cultured landscapes, his was of the choking weeds. Own's reach devoured the land. The winter approached.
The Shaper bequeathed her music to the countryside of marbled ruin. The plains birthed the gentle grass. Listless streams meandered through the verdant hills and babbled of their gentle travel to the face of the windswept cliffs. Thus the symphony of Arathel began. Look to these open plains, nestled where mire and rocky deserts cease, where the hungry forests end. In the bosom of the Feylands, these fields are home to the languid sky. This work, shaped by the delicate artistry of an inspired painter, is for all the peoples of all lands.